Well, it is based on a short story by my dear friend Clemens Meyer, who I've been working with for quite some time. And I read this story. It's a short story. It only has 25 pages some years ago, and it totally struck me. It had such an atmosphere and such depth, you know, in this place I haven't seen before, you know, a wholesale market, and it raised these big questions, you know, of life and death, and it had this ending scene in it, just as you've seen it right now. It was in the short story too, so I really wanted to do it.
对我来讲呢，基本上让观众知道一下，这个是从一个短篇小说改来的。那事实上，这个作者叫做 Clemens Meyer。那我跟他其实已经有很长的合作时间了。那本来的故事大概只有25页而已。那但是这个故事虽然很短，可是非常深刻的感动我。我觉得它里面的气氛、里面的深度都非常的好，更何况它是发生在这么一个独特的地方，这个场景。那里面讲到了一些其实蛮深刻的关于生与死的议题，还有它整个结尾，其实跟书上写的结尾就跟像你看到结尾一样，那个时候我也是深受这个结尾所感动。
那我也很好奇，导演在拍这个故事之前有没有对大卖场里面的员工的生态有做什么调查研究吗
？Yes, I mean, we invented the story just in our heads. It's not a documentary, you know. It's not like we found that story somewhere on the street. But in preparation for the film, what I usually do, the rehearsal is very important to me. So I invited the main actors, Franz Rogowski, Sandra Hüller, and Peter Kurt, to work in a wholesale market just on a normal stage for about 2 weeks. And I put Peter Kurt and Franz Rogowski in the beverages with the beer, and Sandra Hüller in the sweet section, and she had like real workers with them who like trained them, you know, so they really get to know. And I was also there. And what we also did is a training for a forklift. So because this is not, they did it themselves, and I have a license for forklift now too.
好，那基本上呢，我们想要是根据这个故事上，还是要讲故事，我们并不是要拍一个纪录片哦，所以其实我们的确是有做一些对主角的准备跟排练。那你看到3个主要演员，他们都有做相当程度的排练。那我们呢，让他在2周的时间在里面呢，好像实际上真的在这个大卖场里工作。那包括这个Peter 跟 Franz， 就是这2个男主角，我们把它放在这个这个啤酒区里，那女主角把它放在甜品区里。那有真的实际上的这个员工来协助他们。告诉他们怎么在里面这个实际的工作，那包括在里面的堆高机也是哦，我们都有在训练他。那我也要跟大家分享一下，我自己已经拿到堆高机的证照。
那导演现在操作堆高机的技术有比电影里面的男主角好吗？
That's a very, very good question. What's interesting is that to see how different these 3 actors are on the forklift, you know? You have like Sandra Hüller, who doesn't like to get on the forklift at all. So she, let's get this over with. Then you have Peter Kurt, he's doing it very seriously and slowly, but very precisely. And then you have Franz, who is like, he wasn't to get off the forklift. Every time we stopped shooting, he was on the forklift. Anybody asking, where's Franz? Oh, he's on the forklift. And he was training. So in the end, he became a real master in that, so that we shot in a real wholesale market, so that the workers there said, whoa, you could really start here. But on the very first day of shooting, he went directly into a shelf like that. It was really interesting.
那基本上你问的问题，蛮有趣的。我这么回答你好了。我觉得，不同人这个开堆高机的这个方式，刚好可以显示他们的不同性格。那 Sandra 女主角她其实不是很喜欢开这个堆高机，不想上去。那这个比较年长的后来自杀这个 Peter 这个演员呢，他其实开起来是比较谨慎、比较缓慢、比较严肃的感觉。那这个男主角呢 ，Franz 他开起来，其实他很喜欢在堆高机上面。常常我们要找他找不到，他就是他居然在堆高机上面。但是这个其实也是他后来就变得很会开这样子。但是其实也是经过长时间的训练，因为其实他第1天来的时候，他就马上就把堆高机开，就是撞到那个柜，就是撞到那个商品就对了。
Yeah, I heard that I just heard that he was with a film here, Love Stakes. I think he didn't attend, but a film with him was one of his very early works. I knew that Peter Kurt had to play Bruno. I knew that Sandra Hüller had to play Marion. I was pretty sure very early with that. With Christian, not, because the role is very difficult. As you say, he doesn't talk much, but the movie, if that fails, that casting fails, the whole movie fails. So I thought of Franz. He had the right physique, and of course the face. I love his face very much. I would say it's a face for the big screen, you know, because you can really watch him for 2 hours because there's some kind of secret in there. It's not like a TV face, you know, where, you know what I mean. And then, but I wasn't sure, because if you see at Love Stakes, I know how many of you have seen that film. His early works this is a genre mumblecore. It was invented in the US, right? It doesn't have any script, and it deals a lot with improvisation. You know, they improvise on set. So what we did here is the exact opposite. We did not improvise. It was like every word that we speak, there is not very many angles, you know. So I had to really talk to him and rehearse it with him and with Sandra to find out. But then pretty fast, I was very sure that he's the right guy.
基本上呢，他在金马另外一部片《Love Stakes》我们这边翻成什么？就是另外一部片。那我们也有在这边放他的片，那你可以看到他这个作品在里面。那基本上我觉得呢，我们选了这个角色，但如同你刚刚讲的，这个角色其实蛮难演的，因为他话不多。那其实但是对我来讲，这个角色如果当初选错人的话，整个电影就会失败这样子。所以我们选对人是很重要的。那我会选他有几个原因，第一个是因为他的这个身形身材很适合，第二个还有他的脸蛋，因为这个脸呢很适合这个大荧幕的，很适合电影这样子，因为你可以看2个小时，你不会对他脸感到厌倦，而且你觉得他这个脸是好像很多秘密藏在里面的，就不太像是这个电视的脸这样子。如果你知道我的意思的话，那基本上很多剧呢，包括刚刚讲的那个另外一部片里呢，他们这个是比较你看到他在那部片里演的是比较没有剧本的，比较即兴的。但我们这部片没有办法这样子做，我们没有这个即兴的部分，我们是有非常多很明确的这个剧本，请他去演这样子，所以我们有蛮多的排练，跟女主角等等都有这些排练来让他准备达到这样的戏。
I have to make my answers shorter, or cut them in half to make it easier for you. We did a lot of testing, you know, with lenses and camera and so on. So usually, as you put it, this is a very conservative format. Usually, now it's taken very much in widescreen, right? But I thought I wanted something special for this film, and when I first stepped into the aisles of the wholesale market, you have like these narrow aisles, like for the widescreen on the left and right, there's just very cool, out of focus stuff, you know. But I wanted to be simple and very precise. This is why I chose this format, and it also affects that there's much space over the head, so it makes it very tiny, you know. You could also say God watching, you know. It makes the aisles even more higher than that. But yeah, this is like the first half. Yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, there's one more.
OK， 你觉得你的问题也蛮专业的，因为的确没有错，这部片呢是以1.66:1的这个比例拍的。那基本上我们的确在拍之前就做了很多测试，到底要用怎样的镜头、怎样的比例去拍这部片。那通常当然像你比较常见的电影，大概都会是宽荧幕的，可能到2.35:1这样的比例。那所以我们也的确有拿这个去试，但是其实我想要营造出这个属于这个场域特别的氛围出来，所以当我们去试这个2.35:1的时候，我会发现说，当你把这个货架放在这个镜头里的时候，其实左边跟右边会留下蛮多的空白，而且都是失焦的，因为它的焦距必须放在中间这样子。所以呢，我们其实一开始只想要聚焦在把这个货架的这个地方很简单的、很清楚的呈现。好，那我会继续往下讲。
Yeah, and let me just add one thing, because ironically we ended up using CinemaScope lenses, which are like for the widest screen there is, right? They've been used for Western by John Ford, how it works. But what they also, besides the widescreen format, very much out of depth, out of focus and all. And this contributes very much, I thought, with the magic and the poetry, you know, to not make it feel so democratic, so documentary-like. So this is why we cut away a lot from the left and the right to still have this effect. We use the big lenses, but yeah.
Okay. 那最后我们很讽刺的是，我们还是用了这个就是 CinemaScope， 就是一样是传统这个镜头，这样子是宽银幕的镜头，最后再把左右的地方剪掉，因为我们发现这样子的失焦感，其实有时候会带来一些这种蛮神奇的一个的感觉，因为我们并不是其实是要做一个纪录片，感觉不需要什么东西都这么的好像很清楚、很真实。
Is this too technical? I tried it out in the script writing stage. You know, I didn't invent that, right? This has been used very much. I could say Visconti, Rocco, and his brothers. You know, you have also these title cards in there. I love this film, by the way. And I tried out through script writing phase, and the producer said, "Ah, it's stupid. Take it out." So I took it out, and then during editing, we needed some kind of chapters, you know. It could help with the length of this film and with how the plot evolves, right? And then I thought again of this idea, you know, and I just love the idea of kind of randomly putting in that. It doesn't have, it's not 1/3 of every film, you know. You have two at the very beginning, and which appear when you have already known Christian or Marion, so they break in very nicely, but they still keep a secret. You know, it's not just one-to-one. And then there's a long phase without any cards, where you kind of forget about Bruno because it's so much about the Roman stuff, no? But Bruno, if you ask me, is the quiet center of the film. And then we come up with Bruno to remind everybody, oh, there's another angle to the story. This were my thoughts.
基本上我在写剧本的时候就有想说要放这样的这个东西这样子，那但是呢后来呢这个在剧本的时候呢，我的这个制作就跟我说不要，这个很老套，不要把它拿掉这样子。但是在剪接的时候呢，我最后又把它放回来，因为我觉得我想要有一种这种章节感的感觉，因为随着故事的进展，我还蛮喜欢这样的概念，就是说我放的位置其实是有点随机的，并不是说好像就是放在刚好1/3这样切得很工整的感觉。那其实你会发现前2张卡是比较前面一点点。那而且我也觉得放置的位置蛮特别，并不是说放在好像最前面，你一开始就开始要看这个故事一样，而是说放在比较中间的。你了解他这些人的个性之后，但是还有一些秘密在后面你还不知道的这样子。那让你觉得好像有点东西好像想要继续看。那等到这两个卡结束之后，又一段很长的他们这个比较浪漫的故事开始，你好像几乎要忘了这个还有一张卡的存在，那而且或是忘了这个有这个 Bruno 这个比较最后自杀这个男性的这个角度，于是最后我又秀出这张卡，让你想起来说，其实我们还有一个说故事的角度，就是从 Bruno 的角度来说故事。
Well, it's an interesting question because I mean, it is not based on a novel, which has like 500 pages. It is based on a short story with 25 pages. So to be honest, I didn't leave out anything. It's all in there. But then again, it is not the usual adaptation, because the usual adaptation works the other way around. You have to find a core which you want to emphasize. You have to leave out a lot of things, and probably most of you know this thing. Did you go to the movie? Yeah, I went to the movie, but the book was better. Right, so that usually happens. With the short story, totally different. So absolutely. But I love short stories because they if they are good, and of course I love this one, they provide you with a core, and you can invent all that which is visual. You know, it's literature. You have to translate it somehow into vision, but what you invent to it is vision, and the cinematography could be true cinema. So then you are not narrating like in a literature or a novel. You are truly what you invented is cinema. The hardest part here was that Clemens Meyer is like it's about what he does not say. It's about what he leaves out. So how do we invent new stuff and still keep that special atmosphere that this short story had? And it was very much atmospheric, as I said, and very much based on stuff that is not said. So that was the hard part.
那这本基本上呢，我还是要提醒各位，刚刚虽然是从文学作品改编的，但它不是从一个小说改编，它是从一个非常短篇改编，所以它并不是我们要改编很长的，其实才25页，像我刚刚讲的。所以对我们来讲，很诚实回答你问题是，其实我们根本没有减少任何这个短篇故事的篇幅，因为基本上它其实篇幅不多。那所以这跟平常的改编是有点差异的。通常你改编小说，通常你是要保留一个它的最重要的部分，然后反而要去无存菁，把一些不重要的东西拿掉。但对我们来讲，其实我们比较没有遇到这样的问题，因为我们其实就是有这个故事的最精要的部分在我们手上这样子。那但是对我们来讲，所有的文学改编成电影，其实都是怎么样把文字的叙述转化成这个视觉的语言这样子。那所以我们其实最难的部分呢，倒不是刚刚你所想的这样子，而是说，这个小说家 Clifford Myers 他在他在这个故事里没有讲到的，因为他其实在故事里有一些留白，就是说有一些东西他没有明讲。那我们怎么样把这些留白没有明讲的部分，也一样的忠实把它保留住，放在电影里，这是对我们来讲最难的地方。